Stealing Story. Did you steal my story?
Orion, for people who don't know, you're at Orion Surfs on TikTok and Instagram. And do you have over 100,000 followers now on TikTok?
Yeah, I do. It's been
That's
wild
pretty-
watching the hilarious
That's
progression
crazy.
of people's obsession with Icebeards is what did it.
Icebergs,
Can you
amazing.
kind of explain, because for people who don't know, like what your content is, like what river surfing is, and even like what you said with the Icebeard, like kind of what blew up?
Yeah, well, I river surf. That's how I got known. I also surf in the ocean and anywhere I can, even lakes, whatever. But I started my account. Actually, my wife was like, you should post some of these ridiculous selfies that you're always taking of yourself and sending me. I would always text her after my surf and I was like covered in
That's so
ice and
funny.
everything. And she was like, dude, you need to like, this is whack. Like, this is fucked up. You need to share this. So she convinced me to start the channel and I was like, yeah, okay, why not? And basically I would just show the result of my surf after surfing in super cold weather. So like up to minus 30, minus 40 Celsius.
Oh my
Minus
God.
30 or 40 Celsius. So that, yeah, it's like full on winter. Like, because I've surfed with you in November and they were wearing wetsuits. And this is like full on February, March, January.
The funny thing about the
Yikes.
river too in Montreal is like in the summer it's tropical, like it's 27 degrees the water and the air is like 30 plus humidity, so you're just boiling. And then in the winter you've got the opposite extreme, which is like just unsurvivable basically. Except
Is
I
it
go
slightly
anyway.
less busy in the winter?
Just slightly, yeah.
There's videos of Orion like dodging icebergs. Like,
Oh my
on his-
God.
At Orion Surfs is how they can see that, but it looks nuts. Have you ever been like hit in the chest where you thought like you were gonna die or something? Because it's scary for me to watch your videos. sometimes.
The scariest part is when you fall, when there's a bunch of big icebergs coming down. And basically to describe it, it's not an actual iceberg because obviously those are like kilometer deep or whatever, but
Right.
it's like an ice flow is what they would call it. So often they're up to like 2 meters thick often. And usually when they're coming down in big blocks, they broke off the shore. And so they're usually like a foot thick, 2 feet thick.
A foot thick, right? This is about a foot.
Yeah, I'd
This
say
is a
that's a
foot,
very
right?
generous foot.
30
Yeah.
centimeters. Yeah.
Yeah, this is for sure 30
Maybe that,
centimeters
yeah.
thick.
A lot of
By
people
your
would
measurement?
This
be
is like
a lot
yeah.
of people would be really happy
it's
with
a great.
that.
That's
foot.
a great measurement. It's
Yeah.
a very comfortable
Yeah.
measurement. A comfortable foot.
Wow, that's crazy.
So then when they
and
break
like,
up,
you just
it-
have to.
Yeah. You dodge them basically as you're coming down.
Whoa.
And you're weaving between them. And then if eventually you are going to get hit, if a big piece comes, like if at some point too much is going to come down and it basically hits your board. You can try to ollie it, but sometimes your fins get caught and then it pulls you off. So the part that's actually more scary than seeing it coming at me to me is when you fall, suddenly you know you're in these rapids with these huge pieces. Sometimes they're like 30 feet long floating
Oh my
around
gosh.
you. And you just really don't want to get crushed between two of them. And you're kind of just floating. And so you use your board as like a block between the ice pieces. And if a really big one comes, you have to swim onto it to avoid getting crushed or whatever. But
So, can I ask what the appeal is here? Why do you choose to do this?
the classic question. Yeah. I just love surfing and I
Okay.
figured why not keep going in the winter? And then I guess it was sort of exposure therapy. Like I started and there was a little bit of ice. It was, like a centimeter thick, a tiny bit. And then it was an inch thick. And I was like, well, I survived the centimeter. Like now it's a little more.
Yeah,
and then
okay.
suddenly I'm like in the middle of this ice field. And I was just like, well, it's not a big deal anymore. I'm used to it.
You worked your way up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like the Titanic now.
Although I
except
will
not
say the very
sinking.
first time I went on a really icy day, that was a shock because from shore, it looked okay. And then when I paddled out and it started like shredding my board and dinging my board and ripping the fins off. And I was like, like on my stomach, couldn't even pop up yet. And then I got
And the
dragged
fact
out.
that you went back in the water, that wasn't just like a traumatic, like, oh, I'm never going to do that again.
Well, that was the end of that day for sure.
Do you often have to buy new boards then?
I bought a board, yes, but I ended up finding boards that are really durable. So for winter surfing, I use
Nice.
soft tops, which are like a foam that can be hit and not dinged up immediately.
Like a wave storm?
Oh,
yeah, like
okay,
not a wave
cool.
storm, but yeah, like a wave storm.
Just the beginner board.
Wave storm represent? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, wave storm. I don't know if it could handle it because those are I'm sure they're fine.
Wow.
But yeah,
one of
it's
my
that
storage
concept,
lockers. Shout out
and
to Wavestone.
you want the ice to be able to bounce off without, having to do a repair every time you surf. That would suck.
Yeah.
And I remember something that kind of freaked me out is when Orion and I went surfing, I was filming this shitty talking dog movie, and he convinced me to bring my board, which was sweet, not my board, my wetsuit.
Talking dog, I forgot about that.
It was like, yeah, it was talking dogs. I never even saw it, honestly. Hope it did well. Hope everyone involved in that was good. But no, that like the leash you use versus ocean surfing, maybe the leash is like 10 feet. This is a waist one because can you explain the drowning kind of process or the avoiding drown? No, there's something sketchy. Like I'm not just
Yeah, you gotta get
yeah.
a leash on, yeah.
the anti-drowning.
So you don't drown.
Well, actually, I have such a habit now. Sometimes even when I pop up on ocean waves, I'll feel for my waist to make sure the leash is there because it's such a survival instinct to check your gear. Like same as if you're, in avalanche country, you're going to make sure your beacon's on, like whatever. But anyway, yeah. So the waist leash is for river because when the current keeps moving, right? The ocean is ebbing and flowing. So the waves come in and then the water has to also come out. So even if you fall on a wave, the wave will push you, but then the flow of the water stops. So you get a chance to swim to the surface, even if you were stuck on the bottom or something. Whereas in the river, the current is constant. So if you catch your leash, in the river, the water is moving constantly. So if something was to happen, often you're surfing in shallow spots. So there are rocks and little things underwater. Ooh. And if you fell, it's attached to your ankle, right? So you tend to go down in a straight line. If you touch bottom and worst case scenario, the leash caught on a little rock or a root or something underwater, then the current's going to pull you and push you down against the bottom. So like your ankle would be here and then the leash would be like my watch and then you'd be way over here and you'd be flattened to the bottom. So you would need to have like superhuman strength to be able to do an insane sit up to undo your leash, it's impossible. There's no way anyone would have that strength.
To just let the leash go.
And so that's how most people drown river surfing is from that. So that's why you wear a waist leash with a quick release because your hands are always able to reach your waist, even if you did get caught. So, yeah.
Wow.
Has any one of your friends like drowned ever? I know that's a really dark question, but like the people you've known in the community over the last, because you surfed there for like 8 years, right?
Yeah, 10 years, 10 years at that spot. And no, I haven't known anyone, but I have heard of people in similar communities, like in Ottawa and in other spots. Someone did drown in Montreal, but they weren't surfing. So it was at the surf spot. They weren't surfing. So it's bad, but yeah. And then a few years ago, also someone drowned, same thing, swimming, not surfing. So luckily people are pretty aware of it, but it seems that people aren't as aware about the danger of just in general swimming in rapids and in big rivers.
Right. It's also like where Orion and I are from the same town. We've known each other probably 20, 25 years. Gosh. But like, there's cliff jumping. Actually, Alexa and I went cliff jumping in Cal Park, but it's always the tourists who tend to get killed or hurt because they don't know the spots to jump off versus the locals or the people who are in there all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like even the one you took me on was like, oh, you have to make sure you jump out far enough that you don't hit this tree. I'm like, what? And you're like, yeah, and also be careful because there's sand right when you jump off. So if you slip and you don't clear the tree, you're going to hit it. Okay, baby, have a good time. You can do it. I'm like, excuse me?
Wow, great.
Yeah, and then
first
I jumped.
cliff for your partner.
Yeah, it was a good one. I think I jumped off like a rock first. And then
I got a big bruise when you came out of the water.
I did.
So like
I hit the water so wrong.
Oh.
And I was like so bruised all down my leg.
Which cliff was that? I was there recently. I don't remember that one.
It's called Dirt. So when
Dirt.
you get to that, yeah.
It's an overhang, isn't it, that one?
Is
a
it?
little bit. You have to jump
Oh,
out
it's
like
above. It's above overhang. Well, I think the other one's called
overhang's
overhang.
my favorite because overhang you can backflip
Yeah,
off.
you can literally do anything off that. It's high enough
we're
to
really
be
badass, Orion. You know, like we're starting off talking about river surfing, backflipping off cliffs. Like we're just a couple of cool dudes, you know.
Oh
I don't backflip that. The last time I was with someone backflipping a cliff, I think it was Mirage. I don't know if I was there or if I just heard about it and he landed on a rock. You were there?
Oh my God, I pulled Mirage out from the body. This is from the body of water. This is a crazy story.
The body?
The body. I pulled his
Huh?
body
Pulled
out of
his
the
body
body
out
of
of the
water.
body.
Almost, but to describe it, so it's like a 40-foot cliff, and Mirage was a very good rock climber and also cliff jumper. But he decided he wanted to do a backflip off the top of this cliff. And to make it on the bottom of the cliff, there's about 5 feet of rocks that you have to clear. Now, it only takes normally, if you're on the top of that cliff, about a step. Maybe you have to just step off about a meter and you clear it easily. But Mirage is standing there with his back to the camera, back on the cliff. And he's like, okay, you guys ready? And I'm below with another friend at the bottom of the cliff, just beside the water,
Yeah.
sitting on these rocks. And Mirage leans back. So he didn't actually jump off at all. He just leaned
Oh my
straight back
God.
to do the flip.
Oh my God.
And he landed, I'll never forget it. He landed in between. Honestly, it's like one of those things you believe, if you believe in miracles, or you just witness something. It was literally about 1.5 foot gap in between two giant rocks that he landed in. It couldn't even fit his whole body. So his right side, his arm hit the rock still.
Fuck.
But his like legs and his torso went through the crack, essentially, this foot-long crack.
Oh my God.
And it saved his life, that crack.
Yeah.
So he immediately falls through. We just thought we watched him die. I jump in the water, swim up to him. He emerges and he's in shock. There's blood coming off his hand because he hit the thing so hard. And there was a hole. I helped him swim out of the water and he got to the side. He was very much in shock. He was like, what happened? What happened? He didn't even fully realize what happened.
Yeah.
And we're like, you hit the rocks. And then there was like a hole through the palm of his hand.
Fuck.
And this guy, another guy we know who works for CBC, shout out to public radio.
Woo, CBC.
Yes.
So Julian, our friend Julian, who I guess this was 20 or 15 years ago. So Julian didn't work for CBC yet, but he'd go on to witness tons of crimes and sketchy things. So I guess this was the first one, but he took Mirage to the ER and they were there for like 8 hours and everything. And he needed stitches and he still had nerve damage to at least for a few years, where he couldn't feel some of his right hand. But honestly, so lucky that he's alive. It was a crazy thing to witness. And it definitely made you think twice about backflipping.
And you took me to go cliff
No,
jumping
that
after
one.
this?
I did not tell you to do
Oh
a
my
backflip.
God.
How could he do that?
This guy wants me
And
dead.
if I were to tell you to do a backflip, I would be like, for God's sakes, jump out.
Never.
Yeah,
did
or
that.
do it on the overhang.
Do it on one of the ones where there's no rocks on the bottom. Yeah, that's crazy.
But that cliff also now, like
Yeah.
I jumped it last year, I think, that same cliff. And because the lake levels have gone down, it's now like 5 feet higher. And it's harder to clear too. Like you can actually see
You
the
can
descent.
see those rocks.
So you actually end up like, even when you hit the water, you're coming close to the bottom. So I don't jump that cliff anymore just because the levels have gone down.
That one scares me,
Whoa.
probably because of the Mirage thing and seeing that that he did that. But like that one scares me. I don't jump that one very often anymore either now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I remember when I don't know if it was that time or like another time that we had gone back and with like some of your other friends and you guys weren't even doing like that big of it was just like around like that little basin area. I don't even know. Anyway.
Oh, like the bay.
The little bay.
Yeah.
And you guys were jumping. And then, like you said, it's sometimes the tourist. So it was another tourist who was there, saw you guys jumping. And then he went to go kind of like jump in the same area. But you could tell, like, you guys knew how to jump, where to jump, like what to aim for and everything. And even like where you jump from. Like he was just
Totally.
thinking like you could jump from anywhere. And you could see he like almost hit some rocks and you guys had to tell him. Or like
I think we were yelling at him.
I think
right?
you were like, no, you have to move there. You have to jump from here or something like that. But just like watching him like almost pick a wrong spot or almost hit something.
It's honestly so dangerous. It's
Ugh,
even dangerous for
don't
people
cliff
who
jump.
know what you're doing.
Yeah,
but,
pretty
like,
much is the better. The
Oh,
moral
Ryan,
of the
I don't know
story
if
is
you
don't
remember-
cliff jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead, go surfing in the middle of February.
But then it's so funny because surfing is exactly the same. It's like you go to a new spot and you're like, oh, this is sweet.
Oh,
I know
no,
what
this
waves are
again.
like, and you're like, oh, I'll drop in here. It looks clean. And then the locals are like, do not drop in there. Like it's gonna suck dry and there's a rock, And if you don't make
Right.
the takeoff, you're gonna land on dry reef or something. Like it's always
You
listen to the
never know.
locals. That's the real moral.
That's
Listen to
the
the
lesson.
locals.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if you guys have heard in Australia. So there's a lot of tourists on the beaches there right now, and people are trying to like warn them not to jump in like certain areas because there's a lot of aerated water, and it's really hard to come up and break through the water to get a breath of air when you're not more. I guess buoyant than the water. Like usually you would float to the top very easily, but like it's like quite a few people have drowned now.
Whoa.
because they've been just swimming and jumping into the wrong area.
And just sinking?
Yeah, and just like not able to come up for air.
Right.
Yeah, so listen to the locals, people, or just don't do that.
Or just don't go, yeah.
There's literally a giant sign that says, "Do not jump off the cliffs."
Don't do what I do.
Don't do what he does either. Don't
watch your videos.
Yeah, definitely watch your videos though. If not for nothing else other than the ice beard, which is great.
Hilarious.
I think I actually have seen that. It's just like these long icicles.
The funniest thing is that people think it's fake.
Really?
Yeah, people think it's fake. I love going to Orion's comments because people are so insane, and they're like they can't comprehend that this is immediately after he's got out of the water. So obviously this is gonna melt within like half an hour.
Right.
But they're just like assuming he like lives his whole life like this. Like right, like aren't they always like, what happened?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Zero comprehension.
I mean, to be fair, they've probably never seen snow, or they probably live somewhere like on the equator, or well, more likely in the southern U.S. Let's be real. So,
Orion can say that he's got a U.S. passport, born in the stateside. We can cut that out if you want, but if you don't want to reveal.
Oh my gosh, where were you born?
In Portland.
Oh, okay.
I was only there 2 years, so I don't really know anything. I remember some waterfalls, early memories, waterfalls and big trees.
That like subconsciously planted on you the love of the water.
Maybe. Who knows?
And the hatred of the South.
Hatred of the South. Yeah, possibly.
But I saw so you just had a film, like a short film, come out about your river surfing, right?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's a 15-minute film that some filmmakers from Montreal did, and it's not out yet. It's just doing the film festival circuit. So it just showed in Florida and then in Portugal and Spain, and it's kind of just going around. So that's kind of how it goes with independent small films. Is you can't show it until it's been to all the festivals, but the festivals take time to happen, so sometimes it's years before people actually see it, but you'll see lots of clips from it on my page for sure.
It looks like I saw some drone shots. It looks like $1 million. I was hoping to be able to see it, but eventually you will be posting it.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I'd love to get into TIFF. Well, maybe we'll get there. You can see it in Toronto. That'd be epic.
Totally.
Ooh, that'd be sick. Yeah.
It's super unique. I mean, that's what I love about, like, obviously I've known you forever as a musician and stuff, but I also love that, like, you found this super niche thing that not everybody can do, let alone like so many surfers,
or even know about that. Like you could surf in a river. Like I didn't even know that until like Ian. I thought you were straight like surfing in the ocean until Ian's like, yeah, and he's a river surfer. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
what's that?
And now obviously now you live closer to the ocean, so I know that like you're probably gonna end up surfing in the ocean more, but like just to have that niche and to surf in downtown Montreal and like to see you kind of blow up online with this super niche thing that you're obviously so good at was really cool to see. And like
it's
really
so funny that I'm super grateful for the time I had there, because I think I progressed way more in terms of my movements on a board than I would have learning in the ocean, because it's such a hard sport. Like half the time you just feel like you're drowning when you're surfing in the ocean. It's like it's the worst.
Flaw that like I've taken people out surfing in California and they were like they didn't like it because it, you know, if we're there for 2 hours, maybe they caught one wave, so they're actually only practicing for maybe 20 seconds, if that, when they're first learning, versus being out there in the water like so much time is waiting, which is why I think those like wave pools have really blown up, where you can actually get reps in. But what you got to do is like, you look at how many hours you've actually had standing on a board compared to even the best surfers in California. It's insane. Because
it's crazy. I mean, like if you have like a Apple Watch or a Garmin or something that tracks your waves, it'll tell you the amount of time you actually had in your session, and you'll be like, you're out there for 2 hours, and it'll be like you had 1 minute of wave time. You know, it's like painful to see that. Whereas I'm like, my first wave would have been 10 minutes in the river or whatever, you know?
Wow.
So
how long do you think my longest wave was in the river? I'll give you 4 options. 1 minute,
I don't know.
which I already lied. 5 minutes, an hour,
Alexa,
or 2.5 hours.
Oh, I bet you were on there for like an hour. I could easily see that.
Like if I normally had not gone out there or seen, or like had not known you online, I would be like, yeah, even a minute ride is insane. Like you'd be on the cover of the like Surfline Instagram page riding a minute wave. But because I know you I'm going to say you've only because I'm going to pick the biggest one. Have you really ridden it for 2 hours?
2.5. It was about 2 hours and 40 minutes was
Your
my
legs
longest.
just
Oh my
destroyed.
God. That's so
insane.
crazy.
And I
It's
only
like watching
stopped. I
the
didn't
Titanic.
fall. I was in the zone at that point. I was just like, well, it's dark now.
just having a good
It's pitch
time.
black,
It's
and like
dark.
I should probably
You
go.
gotta
You
just
know,
ride
like,
it out like till 8 a.m. till
I
the light
can't
comes.
see the icebergs coming at me anymore.
Yeah, that
I
was
should
summer,
probably
to be
get out of
fair.
here. Oh, okay. That's good then.
yeah.
Maybe you can't die, Orion. Maybe you're like a cat. You just got like 9 lives and you don't even
Yeah, there
realize
you
you burned through like
But how
7
many
of
have
them
I
already.
burned through? That's the question.
Exactly. That's the question. I think time to stay inside. Maybe a lot.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let me introduce the show just in case you've never been here before. Welcome to back, or if maybe you've been here, welcome back to Steele My Story, the show where we bring on a guest to tell one true story and one stolen story. Ooh. I'm your host, Alexa Steele. Get it? It's my last name. You're never going to escape that dad joke. And this is my wonderful host, Ian Fisher. Woo!
You know what, Alexa? You know
What?
I make fun of your sound effects week after week?
Yeah?
Someone commented in the comments today, or this week on the last episode.
Yeah?
I love Alexa's sound effects. So
Boom.
I'm wrong. I'm wrong. This is
We're never going to get one of those soundboards. Never. And if we do, it's just going to be pre-recorded me.
yeah.
you doing the drum roll.
And of course, now that you've heard us speaking about our wonderful guest and his river surfing, Orion Miller, can you remind me of your TikTok? Orion Surfs?
Yeah. Orion surfs. Same with
Oh,
Instagram.
I
Same
got
with
it.
YouTube. Yeah.
Boom. River surfing. If you've never heard of it, it's crazy.
It's messed up.
How did you learn or how did you find out about river surfing, or did you always know about it?
Well, I learned to surf in Australia when I was living there in a van. I did like a full year in
Cool.
Australia, and the van we bought came with this like, I didn't know anything. I was like, I snowboard. I'll be a great surfer. Like totally wrong. And the
Really?
van we bought came with this little surfboard. It was like a performance surfboard, like the worst thing to learn on ever. The center fin was snapped out. Like it was waterlogged. It was probably had holes in it, little dings. I didn't know. I didn't even check back then, but it was free. Right. So I was like, I'll try it. I'll paddle out. And I paddled out into some like things that I would think twice in paddling out.
Even
Now,
today.
like there were big waves in Australia, and I was like, I didn't know anything, so I just thought this is what people do, and I tried it, and eventually, after like 6 months of just flailing around, I figured out how to catch a few waves. I remember the first time I caught a good wave. I was in Broome in Western Australia, and there was like this dad in the water teaching his like 4-year-old son or something. I don't know how young they were, tiny,
Aw.
and he was like watching me, and he was just like, bro, this is painful. And then he gave me a tip. He was like, come over here and paddle this way. And I caught a wave immediately. I was like, wow,
Wow.
another thing. Listen to the locals. Like, so then I kind of got hooked. And
I like that you were so bad that this guy was like, I can't even watch this
yeah,
anymore.
exactly.
I have to help
Son,
this
get out of the water. I have to
drowning
teach this
Canadian.
man. Wow.
One
so
small tip, and I was able
you
to catch a
never
wave.
did any surfing lessons?
No. And then I just floundered around for the rest of the year and started figuring it out. And then when I moved back to Canada, I wanted to go to Montreal to play music. And when I found out there was a river wave, I talked to my cousin who shapes surfboards and got him to send me a board. And I was like, I'm going to start this now. And I just talked to the locals and was like, you know, like, how does this work? Where do I swim to be safe? Whatever. And then, yeah, the rest is history. And then
Cool.
obviously I moved back more towards ocean now, but I love rivers when they're bigger. It's just like, it's like any wave. There can be crappy waves or good waves. When it's good, it's amazing. So now I'm pickier. I pick out the waves. Now that I live closer to the ocean, I'm pickier about my river waves that I surf.
Even that photo behind you, though, looks like an amazing
That's a big
river
one.
wave.
Yeah. Can't tell you where it is, but
I was going to ask. You can't say, huh?
well, gatekeeping in surf culture, you know how it is. Surfers are supposed to be chill, but we're all jerks.
Right. Well, I've known you for years. I could have told you that.
I can tell you it's in Quebec, and it's
Ooh.
But yeah,
Everybody go
that's
look.
one of my favorite waves. It works sometimes only for 24 hours of the entire year. So like everyone's kind of watching the river levels, and when they see that it's at the
Like an
right
eclipse.
speed and flow,
Whoa.
they all like drive out from various cities that are around it, and hopefully you get it to yourself, because that wave is like, that feels like a powerful overhead ocean wave, even though it's, you know, like a chest high river wave. It just has so much power.
Have you found now that you're back in BC surfing in Tofino, I imagine that you're like just way better than because of all those reps of like being able to do those 2 hour waves and everything?
I definitely have skills that I've developed that come easier to me now, like turns and stuff are easier. I also have vices and like things that
You're
are
always
harder for
smoking
me.
cigarettes.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing,
Vaping out in the lineup. I actually have a.
Oh no.
When I
Because you're
film
used to 2
myself-
hours where you can just crack open a whole 6-pack throughout the whole wave, chuck your recycling into the ocean like you do.
Oh my
What are you
god.
known for?
Oh no.
Yeah, it's funny. Like it helps in some ways and it hurts in other ways. It's like, but luckily you can learn easily. Like I'm used to floating and riding a surfboard, and so and paddling and catching waves and reading the ocean is harder. But luckily, I've also been surfing the ocean this whole time too, so it's not like I was lacking that completely.
Totally.
Yeah.
And when you're river surfing, can I don't know, can more than one person be there?
It depends. Yeah.
Or
Like
does-
same as the ocean. Like if the wave is really long and peeling and walling up, you can have more than one person on a wave, but people don't like it because you want to use the whole wave to yourself. So sometimes
Right.
in the river, there's like the really foamy middle to the wave, and then each side will be good. Then people don't mind sharing as much. But if you're really good, you want to use that foam. So you'll generate a ton of speed on the green face on one side, and then like do like a floater onto the foam, and then you end up on the other side. So if someone's there, it's kind of lame. Yeah, it's okay. I don't blame you.
For people watching the video version of the show, you'll notice a little picture of Orion and I sharing a wave in Montreal.
Is there a picture like that? Where?
Oh, it's floating right now on the screen.
Oh, you're putting it on there.
Yeah.
I thought it was in your room
Floating in
and
the
it was
ether.
just behind you that I can't. Ooh,
no,
wow.
look, they can see it. You just can't see it.
You guys are great surfers.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so that's why you're saying like maybe surfers might be jerks. They don't like sharing.
Yeah, it sucks because like it's true. Like there's only one wave that comes. When you watch videos of it, you're like, why is everyone so angry about this? But when you go and sit for an hour and watch a surf spot, you'll understand because there's like 100 people, especially in somewhere like California, like 100 people there, and then the best waves, maybe a set, which is like a group of good waves. There'll be small waves in between, but the good set might come through like once every half hour or once an hour. So you're just sitting. If there's 100 people, you really want that lineup to cycle so you get a chance. So people just get really angry.
Especially if a bad surfer like myself takes that wave and then ruins it for everybody.
The best surfer, did you say?
The worst surfer.
Yeah,
We'll have to take you out. Next time we're in British Columbia,
No.
Orion and I will drag you out into the water
No.
and you can try surfing.
I couldn't imagine anything
We'll be like
worse.
the dad in Australia and teach you the ropes that Orion was taught.
You know what? I feel like we went boogie boarding or something and it was in Mexico and like I remember turning around. You did warn me like never turn your back to the ocean. No,
Good
turn your
advice.
back
I stand by that.
whatever.
Advice.
It's true because I remember I turned around. There's this huge wave, and you know when you're just like, I can try and run, but like it's probably better to just like dive into it. So that's what I did, and it felt like I got punched in the face.
Yeah,
And I can imagine that that's probably like just what an hour of surfing would be like. It's just the ocean, just boom, 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 and I'm just like it'll be like I don't know, maybe the ocean is like Mike Tyson or something. And I just don't think I want to do that.
Honestly, pretty wise not to want to fight Mike Tyson.
it is like being punched by Mike Tyson for real though. Like I can't even imagine like how it feels to do big wave surfing. Like a 6-foot wave that's barreling is like so terrible to fall. You're like underwater for so long and smashing the bottom. And this is ocean I'm talking about now. Ocean is a lot more painful in terms of the beating you take. River is a little more chill once you know how, because you're kind of more on the surface. But it's a bit scary when you fall in front of the wave because you end up going deep and then you feel yourself get sucked by the current. You're just like gone, which is pretty trippy.
And the like Jaws and like the Hawaiian ones are like what 100 feet tall, 80 feet tall.
Whoa.
Nazare is more like 100 feet. Jaws is, I mean, yeah, even a 40-foot Jaws is absolutely terrifying. I would never paddle into that.
Jeez.
I mean, is that really? I mean, well, not that, but like, you don't ever feel that way when you see a bunch of giant blocks of ice.
I mean, I guess it's.
Have you?
I guess it's similar in a way. You would those people who surf those waves built up to it, and same with the ice. But I think those bigger waves are more dangerous than the ice surfing. I'm not saying go try ice surfing, but yeah,
he recommends it. All right, folks. So just slide into his DMs. He'll tell you where to go. You can go today. Don't tell your parents where you're going.
Yeah.
Orion, are you a good liar?
Yeah. Do you feel like you're a good liar?
I think I'm a pretty good liar. I don't lie in life, but I'll lie right now. Very often.
When I have to, I'm good at it. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Do you find that you don't often lie in life? Like you're
not
like
really
a white liar? Okay.
No.
Okay. Fair. Good. All right. So he's a good liar, but he chooses to not lie.
Exactly. So he says he's like a evil villain who's not using his powers for evil, I guess. A good liar who never does it. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So,
also, if you tell the truth all the time, then when you do lie, everyone believes it.
You get away with it.
So
I'm not crying wolf, you know.
Maybe you're just building up to a really big lie one day for your wife or something. You've just been so truthful that you're like, then one day she's gonna check like your room and you're just gone and you've moved back to Australia to hang out with that dad who taught you how to surf.
Oh my
god.
And have you prepared your stories for
I have a couple stories. Yeah.
Ooh.
So I know that you guys know I surf and you know that I play music. So I'm not going to tell any stories about that because you'll automatically know, right?
Smart. Yeah.
Like, oh, one time I was dodging this iceberg and then one time I was surfing Jaws. You're going to guess, like which ones are.
Fair. Okay. Mixing it up. No, this is good because the people want to know different sides of you.
Yeah, there you go. So you want me to go launch right into it?
We're ready whenever you are.
Yeah,
okay, so let's see. Okay. Here it is. So I was hitchhiking. I've done a lot of traveling too.
Oh my gosh, hitchhiking? So dangerous.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm a white man. Unfortunately, we have.
You're right.
Unfortunately, the world is fucked, and it's a little safer for us. A lot safer.
Yes, that's true.
We tend to be the serial killers.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's true. All right, so you're hitchhiking.
So you've killed a couple road variants or vagrants on the road. Who hasn't?
So basically, I was around central Canada, like kind of between Regina and Winnipeg area. I wanted to get to Winnipeg at least, just trying to cross the country. Like you guys know, I just moved from Montreal back to BC. So I've crossed the country so many times. And as I was just waiting for a ride, took forever, classic, hitchhiking tale, you're waiting and finally you get a ride. You're like, yes. So I get in and everything seems chill, whatever. Like rides are often a little sketchy, but you're just like, so many people.
The type of person to pick up a hitchhiker is still like a little sketchy. Like God
to
bless
be fair,
them,
I've picked up a lot more hitchhikers after hitchhiking because I feel bad for them,
Right.
Oh, nice.
And I feel like often the hitchhikers are the sketchy ones. So I'm the sketchy one. So I'm like, like maybe you're both sketchy, so that's why you relate.
You're both planning to kill the other one?
That'd be a good movie.
So yeah,
that would be a good movie.
You guys should make it. So I get in and everything seems fine at first, like whatever. But then we get driving and the guy's driving fast. So I'm like, this is great. Like I'm going to get where I'm going. Cause sometimes people are going slowly or they want to stop all the time, whatever. This guy's just going. So I'm like, sweet.
The traffic laws and shit like that.
Yeah. Like who does that? So this guy, and then he just gets on a tangent. You do a lot of chatting with strangers when you're hitchhiking, right? So this guy gets on a tangent and he's like, man, I'm so pissed off. Like at the last place I was, the cops took my gun and now I'm like, I don't have my weapons and it just feels so shitty and whatever. And just like ranting about how he can't have his guns and how he got them taken away. And I'm like trying to relate. I'm like, yeah, that sucks, man. I missed my guns. Like,
I hate when that happens.
By the way, we're in Canada, so you can't just be carrying around guns like that.
Yeah, true. That's the disclaimer.
Disclaimer for anybody wondering our gun laws.
Yeah, so that's actually quite uncommon to have someone be like,
Yeah, so that's why his guns got taken away, probably.
exactly, true that. So yeah, they were taken away also by like law enforcement. So I'm like, what's going on here? Like, this is something. He was obviously into some sketchy stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
But I kind of defused the situation, like the conversation, you know, the classic, like I also worked as a hairstylist for a long time. So I know how to like steer a conversation if I need to, because you're spending like 4 hours with someone. You got to learn how to do that or it gets awkward sometimes. So I kind of like defused it. But then after another hour or two, this guy picks up another guy. And I'm like, cool, whatever. It's fine. It's good. Like, that's normal. But this guy gets in. First thing he says, he's like, oh, thank you so much, man. I just got out of juvie and I have no money and I just need to like, I just need a job. Like, I need to get,
and the cops
I need
just
cash.
took my guns.
So immediately they're like best friends, right? I'm like awkward at this point. I'm like, you take the front seat, I'll be in the back, you know, like, and they're like vibing. They're like, let's go. And anyway, they start
like,
fully
let's get some guns.
literally, they're like fully ready. They're like, let's plan a job. Like, let's rip off this store. Like, yeah, I don't have my guns anymore, but whatever. We can mask up and, you know, pretend, whatever.
You were so like, what'd you go to juvie for? He's like, killing hitchhikers. Why?
Yeah. He's fully down. They're both like ready to go. And they're literally planning like 2 hits, like grocery store first.
You're serious about that they were really planning like to
fully.
Oh, I thought you were joking.
No, I wasn't even joking.
Sitting there twiddling your
and I'm
thumbs.
like sitting there like, okay, now I'm going to be complicit in a robbery, maybe murder. Like, I don't know, right?
They're
I don't
like,
know what they're actually planning.
Driver.
So
yeah, they're like, you wait in the car.
Exactly. I'm now the getaway driver. Like, this is not good. And yeah, they were planning 2 hits. Like, they're like, we're going to go to a grocery store or like a gas station first. And then we're going to like, they were like, I don't even know. They're like, let's do a bank. Like, they're insane. Like, I'm like, no, you don't just do a bank. Like, haven't you seen like a movie? Like, you plan that for months.
Yeah, you just do it with a guy you met 35 minutes ago.
I love that they were also like 2. Like, they weren't just like, let's just do 1. Like, they're just like, let's do 2.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they were vibing.
Yeah,
so
they
they're
were really
just
hyped up.
Yeah, and I'm like trying to talk some sense into them. I'm like, haven't you seen like Ocean's 11? Like, you don't just do that. You plan it. Like, you need like 9 guys on this.
No, Ocean's 2, bro. I saw Ocean's 2. They get away with it. They had too many guys.
Yeah, we need more guys for this one.
So luckily it's an anticlimactic ending. I was like, oh yeah, I need to get, I said Winnipeg originally, but I was like, oh yeah, I'm not in central Winnipeg. I'm going to get out like on the outskirts. This is where my stop is. And
actually this abandoned gas station, this is actually where I live. Yeah, let me right here.
Yeah, not at the gas station you're going to rob. Like,
well, that'd be such a hard situation, because if you were like, hey, I don't want to be hey guys, I don't think this is for me, they'd be like, this guy's a witness.
Exactly.
Like, it could have gone so bad.
So it was super
were you,
awkward.
like, kind of like pretending like maybe you would, just so you could be like, or were you straight up just being like, no, guys, that's
well, I wasn't trying to
idea.
say don't do it, because like Ian said, then they're going to be like, who's it? This guy's a snitch. Like,
this guy's a cop.
I'm just more like, no, I have to go. I have to, you know, I have other shit to do. Like, I don't need to do this job.
I wish I could, guys. I really wish I could. I gotta walk my dog. Otherwise, I'd be robbing like 4 or 5 banks of you.
Oh man, guy. I wish I knew
earlier. It's so late. Like, I can't do it.
Got so much on my.
Yeah, exactly. But then also it's delicate because like, you know, that they're kind of broke. So I'm not like, oh, I don't need the money. I already got lots of money, guys. And then I'm like, no, they're just going to rob me. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Luckily, you're hitchhiking. So maybe they're assuming you're not like flush with cash.
Good point. Yeah, that's key. So
unless you're like wearing Chanel or something.
Did you ever read about like any bank robberies or things?
So that's the thing too. This was years ago. Like, I've been back when I was like younger, and I've traveled like a bunch hitchhiking, whatever. And my first trips, you know, we didn't have like, I barely had a phone. Like, just if it was, you know, it's just a dialer. Like, you couldn't just look up the news quickly like you can now. So I never heard anything, but I'm sure these days, if that had happened, I'd be like quickly just like Googling like
because we also know
Winnipeg, you know?
They got caught right away. Like,
yeah,
they did not get away with it.
Immediately caught.
Yeah, exactly. This is not.
Wow. Well,
Hilarious.
I hope that they chose not to and that they are on a better path.
I'm pretty sure they did it, and they're probably back in juvie.
Oh no. I like that he was like fresh out of juvie, and when you said, "Oh, and I really need a job," I was like, "Oh, like he's out here trying to do better and get like a job that's so, that's hard." And you had like a job like, "Let's rob some place."
He learned nothing. He's like, I gotta get back there as quickly as
Finally,
possible.
I'm out. Let's rob.
He learned
something.
opposite. He learned a bunch of good techniques to rob people.
Well, there you go. That's, I guess, and that would happen in juvie.
I mean, that is kind of the flaw
Why
with the prison system. You go in and it's not going to help.
And uncomfortable bunks. That and the bunks.
Why do they put them there?
Yeah, I had a friend who went to jail for bank robbery when I worked in the kitchen as well.
What?
Yeah, the head chef had been into jail for robbing a series of banks around Toronto, and he said that when he went to jail, it was like prison college. He's like, I got way better as a thief.
Yeah,
Wow.
right?
Yeah. The
And he's
craziest
like,
thing.
I'm stealing from the restaurant right now.
Yeah.
Well, it definitely made you think differently. You're like, but he said like they never made him pay back the money. Like he went to jail, obviously, but he didn't have to pay back the money.
Well, it's kind of
Wow.
the choice, I guess. Often,
Right.
depending on your sentence, it's like you can either pay or jail, depending how
Wow.
it goes.
Totally.
Wow. So you got out of there. You were like, oh, I'm so busy. Like,
Yeah, and then it's just
Yeah,
like
guys.
another day of hitchhiking. Then you get the next ride and keep going. And luckily, no other
Wow.
rides were as crazy as that one. The ideal is you
The
get a
next-
long haul trucker and you get someone who's, like an immigrant who moved here who's just making their money driving long distances
Just looking
and
to trade sex for
they
gas
get it
on the
done.
road.
Yeah, well, ideally not that. I have stories about that
Just
too.
a
But
classic.
oh my God, do you really? Okay, tell those after because I want to know. Okay, all right. First story, almost being roped into robbery.
Do we want to try and poke a couple holes? See if we buy
Yeah.
this story? See if it's really his?
Yeah, I do. Okay.
What kind of car did they drive, Orion?
Yeah.
what kind of car?
Yeah.
Just a classic. I don't remember the model. It was one of those beat up average cars, like a Corolla or something. It's
But,
not the
nothing
type of
that
thing.
looked too sketchy when you saw it roll up. Like it didn't look like a van where, like a
No,
murder
I
van or
mean,
something.
No, I mean that's such a stereotype. I drive a sketchy van actually, so and I'm not.
You're like your van's covered in
You're the
blood and
guy.
has handcuffs. You're like, I hate when people stereotype my killing van.
Yeah,
Killing man. Okay.
I do like that.
I
You're
don't-
like, wait, it made me
This is
feel.
like-
I
It's
felt like
funny
a
how
bad
the, like,
guy for
details you-
stereotyping.
you forget
The
details
back.
like the model of the car, for example. But I can remember like the smell of the dude, like his cigarettes.
you
like you like that kind of sticks with you more than the model of the car or whatever.
And the
Funny.
conversation, I suppose, in this case.
Yeah, the conversation was
wonderful
pretty
conversation.
riveting.
Yeah. Hard
And
to
I had a
zone
lot of time to
out.
sit with it. It's like a couple hours between the cities. So I'm like, dang, this is getting more and more awkward. Where am I going to get out? I also don't want to get out like on a random prairie road. Like there's not many
still
towns.
wanted to like use the hitchhike.
Like for people who
to
are
its
watching from like the States or Europe or something, like the towns in Canada are like 5 hours apart, 5 to 8 hours. So it's like, I'm not going to just go out in the middle of the road and then freeze to death in the prairies. I want to get at least sorted to where I'm going.
Yeah, and it's like you don't know when for sure somebody else is going to come along.
Yeah, totally.
Who
They're
could
not
even
busy
be worse,
highways.
maybe crazier.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can't. The cigarette smell convinced me personally. I can't think of anything else I want to.
Are you still in touch with these guys?
Am I still in touch?
Send each other Christmas
We're
cards?
best buds. Yeah,
Yeah. How's the family?
So you're saying you want to hear story number 2 to
I wanna
see
hear
because
story
right now
number
you're like
2.
you're buying this one.
I'm buying this. I'm buying
Okay.
into the first one.
So story number 2 is another travel story to keep on the
Ooh,
theme.
Okay.
And so I spent a lot of time not only traveling around Canada, but also traveling around Asia. And in this case, I was in India. So this was a little earlier. So I was 18. This was my first big trip. And I flew to
Whoa.
Vietnam first as like a culture shock warm up. And then I did Laos, Cambodia, Thailand. and then flew to India after that. So it was like 9 or 10 months total. So I felt like I was pretty savvy by this point. Like I'd been through 4 countries already.
Yeah.
But India is another game. Like it's like another planet. Like the scams and the masterful scams. You're like the whole city's in on it. Like all this stuff. It's also like my favorite place I've traveled and the nicest people ever. So I have to say that too. Like I love that country. But
yeah, like
when
2 sides of the coin.
Exactly. I guess that's how it goes sometimes. It's like
yeah.
Lots of places are like that. They're like, yeah. Anyway, so I was on a bus trip in north of Delhi. I think I was going to this temple hike thing where you could bus in. Basically, India is all trains and buses and whatever. So I was taking an overnight bus. They have these buses with like bunks on top and where you can sleep. And even on the bottom, sometimes it's like this little compartment you can crawl into, and it's like the worst mattress ever. It's like this thin, and you're basically sleeping on plywood, but you're also just like, this is sick. Like I can actually try to sleep. And then of course you're on the worst road ever. So you don't actually sleep. You're like rolling and smacking between the walls and the windows and hoping the glass will hold. So that's some context for you. I like didn't have a great sleep, and it's like a stop in the middle of the night. And they stop for like chai and like food for the driver, and you can get out and rest and use the bathroom and whatever. So we stop and I'm like, okay, where's the bathroom? And they point to this like dark alley. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty standard for like a random rest stop in India. And this is like pretty horror area. Like it's a bus stop. It's not like a nice area. It's not like we're in Mumbai and like the nice district or whatever. So it's just a random town. And so I go in the alley, and it's a ways in, and it's like the worst. Just imagine the worst urinal situation. You're lucky that you've never dealt with gross urinals, Alexa. It's just so the worst
all the time.
Yeah.
It's honestly like a crazy idea to me that you just like urinals in general. I'm like, you all stand beside each other and piss. What the fuck? Anyway, sorry. It's so weird.
No, that's
it's
fair.
So weird. Like, put a divider or something.
The key is you peek at other guys' dicks.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I would hate that.
And you're always like, now I can't pee. This guy's got a hammer.
So this is like, imagine it's 10 times worse than that. First off, the smell, because anyway, I won't go too deep into it. It's basically, it was like a little gutter in the side of the alley, and that's it. Like it wasn't it wasn't even a real urinal. They're like, this is where you go. And I was like, dude, I feel bad for the women. Like, where are they going? Like they just have to hold it for like the 12-hour bus ride or whatever. So anyway, I go and do my thing, piss in the gutter, disgusting. And then I turn around to leave the alley, and it's like 40 feet. I'm like 40 feet deep in to this like dim, sketchy alley. And there's like a group of guys coming in, and India's full of people. So my first thought is like, there's always people everywhere. My first thought is like, nothing, whatever. They're just going to use the urinal, if you can call it that. And they come in and
you're going to use the gutter.
Exactly. So they come in, and then when I'm still not out of the alley, not even close, I'm still deep in there, they approach kind of faster, and they all surround me. And then I'm like, okay, this is getting sketchy. Like this is, and so there's probably like, I don't have a clear memory of it, because I can just, again, it's like the smell. The smell is the memory that triggers me of the urinals around.
Right.
And there must have been 6 or 8 guys, and they all surround me. And I'm like, okay, this is awkward. Luckily in India, everyone speaks English like perfectly. Most people speak English. It's kind of the unofficial, or I think it is the official second language there. There's 3,500 languages in India. So they needed, when the English came and added English, they were like, well, we may as well learn this, and we can all communicate easier and use that, and then also speak our own tongues. So they surround me, and I'm like, this is like bad, right? This is a bad situation.
Yeah.
But then I also was 18 and had like totally unbridled confidence for like no reason, like undeserved confidence, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, come at me, bro. Like I can take 8 guys. When in reality, I probably couldn't take 2, like it's ridiculous. So But luckily, I'm glad I had that confidence because they picked up on it, right? And they weren't like immediately going to just beat me down or whatever they wanted. But the one guy started talking to me, and he was kind of like the biggest guy, kind of the leader. And he was like, pay me for the urinal. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? That was the grossest experience, the worst urinal I've been to in all of India. I'm not paying for that shit, you know, like, and who are you?
Yeah.
You're just random people from the street. You're not like the gatekeepers of the urinal.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
you
not
should have
paying
went like
you.
this. I'll pay you, but I pay in piss. And you turn around, you're still peeing.
Oh my god! Yeah, you're like, this is the worst. If you do own it, you should refurb it.
And I know they don't own it because like
Yeah,
it's
of
just an
course.
alley. Like what the
I know
hell?
guys in the urinal business. These are not guys.
Yeah, I checked your reviews on Yelp. You know, like
yeah, I'm not gonna fucking pay for that.
so.
Oh my god! And yeah, so he's trying to shake you down. Get you
Yeah, and they're
paid.
like really. I mean, they're not asking for much. And I like now, if this happened to me in my 30s, I'd just be like, sure, take your 5 rupees. It's like 10 cents. Like
you
they
throw
weren't.
it into the gutter.
Yeah, throw it
There
into
you
the
go.
urinal. Here you go. Yeah. But also, you don't want to like the way I travel often in places like that is I had my passport belt, which is like hidden, like
Mhm.
under my clothes, under my shirt or something, and then I had a little change purse with some extra money, and I think I left my bag in the van or something in the bus. So I was like. I don't remember the details, but I don't think I had the change with me that they were asking. First off, I wasn't willing just
Oh.
because I was like indignant about the disgusting urinal. But secondly, I didn't want to have to go into the actual money bag, which actually has real money that would be quite valuable, which would then
Right.
escalate the situation way more, right?
Right.
Because they're probably pretty desperate. And it's like I should, yeah. Anyway, now I would just I always carry loose change, even in Central America when I travel there, or even the States. It's like, if you can just chuck a 20, it can de-escalate a lot
Yeah.
of situations pretty quick.
You're in the South and you're like, take
Yeah.
the change. Run away.
So
Oh my
I did,
gosh. Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
I don't remember what my total reasoning at that point, but I wasn't willing to pay. It was probably just mostly like stupid confidence of an 18-year-old. And
Amazing.
so this went on, this conversation between us for a long time, and it was super awkward. And I was just like, no. And they were like, yes, like we have you surrounded, like you better pay, like, you know. And then the dude like put his arm out like this, like a arm wrestle thing. And I was like, what is this? Like first I'm like, whoa, are you gonna throw
like,
punches or
ooh.
something at first?
Oh,
But then
okay.
he's just like, but then he just held it there, and I was like, this is freaking weird. So then I like took his hand like an arm wrestle, and then he started putting pressure, and I was like, okay, I guess we're doing a midair arm wrestle right now. Like this is totally weird.
So
what the hell?
weird.
And
You're gonna arm wrestle for the urinal.
right, it was
the
super
urinal
weird.
payment.
And then like we arm wrestled for a bit, and I managed to force his arm down in the air. Like we didn't have it wasn't a proper.
Men
It wasn't
are
regulation.
So strange.
Men are the worst. Men are the worst. So anyway,
I stand
forced
by this move.
I forced his arm down, and then like immediately after that, he let go, and the crowd parted, and I just walked out.
Wow, you won your
Freedom.
urinal usage.
They were like, that is the strongest guy in the world.
Holy shit, we didn't know what we were getting into.
It was so,
Damn.
and like we were locked eyes. Like I can remember his eyes. Like we were just locked eyes as we arm wrestled down. It was so
Oh my
freaking
Yeah, it's
weird.
so strange.
The weirdest experience. That's probably my
That is
weirdest
so
travel
crazy.
experience. That's weirder than my other travel experience of the bank robbers. Like that's more normal. You can understand, but like arm wrestling for a urinal, like that's freaking weird.
When they could have just beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, they could have easily. I mean, they could have.
He
It
was
wouldn't
like,
have even
"We're gonna
had to
wrestle
beat
for
the
it."
shit out of me with that many guys. They could have just grabbed my arms and
What if
taken
you had to arm
everything.
wrestle all of them? Like you beat the first guy,
Yeah,
and
and
then
then
another
the
guy
next-
comes. And
You have to win against all of them.
they get progressively
Yeah.
stronger though, like a
Yeah.
video game.
Well, that's their problem is they started with the strongest
You
guy.
can't start with the final boss.
Yeah,
yeah.
because you won.
Like the lesson from river surfing, you work your way up to the big ice blocks. You
there
got to work
go.
your way up to the arm
You
wrestle.
punch through the final iceberg. I don't know if that's a good, but
Analogy.
it feels like
I
that's
like
what
it.
that is.
I like it.
Wow! Oh my god! And you just got back on the bus, and you were
And
like,
then
W-
and then
slept
it's
like a
like,
baby.
well, that's another day traveling.
another day. Oh my gosh! Wow. Okay, arm wrestling for your urinal gutter /gutter usage. instead of paying 5 rupees, or I'm not sure how much they wanted. Whatever you.
Yeah,
had
I don't
on you.
remember.
I would
I'm
hate
sure it
the
wasn't
idea
much.
of touching anybody's hand in a urinal who I
That's
don't
what
know.
I was
I'm like,
thinking. I'm like,
is this guy washing his hand? Like, what if this guy just pissed too? Like, I don't want to.
Yeah,
I
what
don't
if
want to
you,
arm
like-
wrestle anyone in a bathroom.
what if he handed you like Purell before, and he was like, "We're
Yeah.
gonna wrestle, but first."
That's probably what would happen now after the pandemic.
Yeah.
Everyone Purell up, and then we'll do our ritual arm
And
wrestle.
then we're gonna wrestle.
Virtual arm wrestle? Yeah, exactly.
Well, maybe it's not so. Maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe that is the way to settle a lot of disputes. Actually, no.
Come at me right now.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm like, maybe I would lose a lot of arm wrestles, so I changed my mind.
Any more holes to poke in this little tale of?
How old were the guys?
Well, I was 18, so they seemed older than me. I mean, they
Mhm.
could have been. They weren't younger. It wasn't like a young street
okay.
gang or anything. They were
So
probably like
older.
20s, but it was similar age.
Okay.
I really wanted them to break out into song, like it was like,
Broadway.
yeah.
This
what's
is
the
the Urinal.
Jets, sharks.
Yeah,
What-
it seemed like that.
West Side
West
Story.
Side Story, exactly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
8 guys around you and
They
ready
just
to
started
break into
snapping.
song.
They
Yeah.
circled me so they could
Yeah.
sing to
Yeah.
me. Start snapping.
And
But
then
it's a
all the
Bollywood
people,
too?
and then you yell Jets, and then all the people from your tour bus come out, and
Yeah.
they start jumping around and hopping and doing their
They're throwing
their
the coins.
choreography. Yeah, their coins. Oh my god. I'm honestly gonna. I mean, I've actually made my choice.
You've made your choice.
I've made my choice.
Oh wow, easily.
Yeah, easily.
Wow.
It's actually pretty biased. It's just I'm voting for the story that I want to be told. Which
That's
very
fair.
often, I don't know.
You gotta choose
sometimes when
somehow.
it's hard to tell. Yeah, I'm like,
I'm going to ask one more question. Do you think on the rest of your trip, did you end up like paying for any urinals going forward? Like, was
So
that
yeah,
really,
that was weird actually. Is there are some urinals that you have to pay for, but I pretty much almost never paid. Again, like now
You
I
dined
would
and-
I
you
would
pissed and
pay now,
dashed.
but they were never as dirty as that, and like they always had like a little sign or something. So it was like I think they were clearly just taking advantage of like the fact that some people do pay and
Mm.
just like pretending to be the custodians or whatever.
You should try it here in Canada. Just wait in the washroom and just see what. Actually, sometimes
wait in the
I
wash-
hate it when you see the restroom attendant, like the guys who give you the. Sometimes in like a nice restaurant or a club, there'll be guys with like mints and
Yeah.
condoms and breath mints and like, and they'll try to wash your hand, like dry your
Condoms.
hands for you. And honestly, it's
I
like
guess it's not.
I don't love it because I'm like I respect the hustle, but it's like I can do this myself. Like
Yeah.
I can wash my hand. The gum or whatever is a nice touch.
Wait,
but
did
it's
you
like-
say they
just
try to
leave it
wash
there.
your hands for you?
they try to like dry your hands for you sometimes. I've had that happen to me where they
Have
like throw
you?
you the towel and they're like, here you go.
But not wash.
it-
They're not like coming around your hips, like washing your hands
but
for you.
no, it's like from the
that
scene from Ghost. Yeah.
I,
I would tip for that. You kidding me? If anyone's doing that, I'll pay for that.
Can you drop if you know any places, just drop
Yeah,
it in the comments.
I'll go there. But no, it's like, I don't know. I especially, who's got cash anymore now, right? So you're like,
That
I'm
too,
in the
yeah.
washroom.
Yeah.
I'm not going to like put in my,
They just hand you
Amex.
that little Apple box.
Yeah.
to tap.
yeah, to tap on your way out of the washroom. $4, very reasonable for hand washing.
And they ask
I
for a
think I
tip
know
on top
too.
of it.
Yeah, and tip
They
on
do
top
like
of
top
the
with the
tap for the
$4
$4
service.
and then the minimum tip's like 30%. You're like, dude.
Sorry, what am I buying? Was I buying the towel?
It
Yeah.
feels like it's 30% nowadays. And as an ex-server, I do have like I do really feel for people in the service industry, but 30% is kind of I mean, we're all suffering right now.
I mean, when I was in
but
Australia,
it's
it's
a
like
lot.
they don't tip in Australia and they just raise the
Yeah.
prices and they pay their people
Yeah.
well. I'm like, dude, that's such a better system. Like,
Mhm.
just
Way
pay
better.
your
Even
staff.
the taxes in
and-
Australia are
yeah.
on the menu board, right? So you actually know
And
when
that
you
too,
get there
yeah.
what the thing's going to
Yeah.
cost. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Instead of
no.
here
better.
we guess, it's like, how much is the meal?
I don't love
It's
that
so
it's
crazy.
they don't add on tax. I'm
No, we
like,
just guess.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
On the other hand, we
Yeah.
do get to know how much we're paying on tax, that's one upside.
Oh,
Whereas
true.
they
Yeah,
could just
that's
like
true.
government could just, add a couple percent occasionally and you would never notice.
Good point.
Right.
Good point.
Interesting.
I think I know too.
You know?
But I'm going to
Okay.
go second, I think.
Okay.
Because you said, I'm curious to hear which one you want to be
I've
true.
made my choice, and
And he is a good liar, like you said. Like
Yeah,
I
he's-
actually like they told both well. There was no obvious.
Yeah, there was no obvious cues to me. I feel after doing this show, what is this, our 21st episode?
More.
Woo! 23rd?
I think around there, yeah.
Wow. 23rd
Lucky
guest.
23.
Woo!
Lucky 23, Michael Jordan.
Really?
Yeah, his number on his back.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think I'm pretty good at reading, lying cues, like seeing people fidgeting or like they look away or they, maybe stumble a little more. I think. Oh, do I do a drum roll? No, wait. The audience has to guess first. Whoa, guys, I'm getting rusty. All right. If you're at home, make your guesses, shout it into the void or to the person next to you if you're like on the bus or public transit or something, or tell it to a friend, or if you're watching on YouTube,
Text someone you haven't talked to in years.
Text your long lost friend or
hey, the
whoever.
second story's a lie. I miss us.
Yeah. Exactly. And then block them again.
Yeah, definitely block them.
Immediately block them again. If you're on YouTube, just comment down below whichever story you think is true, 1 or 2. And then my guess, number 2. Only because I really want that.
Number 2 is the lie?
Number 2 is the truth.
Is the truth.
You really want that to be true.
I wanted you to hand wrestle your way out of a problem. That's amazing to me.
What about you, Ian? What do you think? I mean,
Alexa
it is
Steele.
like peak, whatever.
I mean, it's also to me, I'm like, I mean, yeah, you may have stolen that, but like, that's the kind of thing that you just like can't make up. Like, when those
So
things
specific.
that happen in life that you're just like, I could not have thought that up. Do you know what I mean? That's one of those things where it's like, we're gonna arm wrestle for this piss hole.
For this piss hole. What would they make you do for the shitter? For the fucking,
right?
if you went number 2.
You gotta play, you gotta have a thumb
full-on
wrestle.
wrestling.
Thumb wrestle. They take out some tech decks. If you remember those, you got an ollie. I think for a rare time, because normally we disagree, I actually agree with you, and here's why. I think that I know Orion has, when he's with his band, traveled across Canada a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, like he said with his van, I don't think he's hitchhiking when he's doing that. I think he's normally in his like own
In
van.
your kill van.
In his kill van. That he
In my
said was
I'm
not
the
a
kill
murder
van.
Yeah. So I think, although
Plot
I've known him
twist,
to
I
hitchhike-
was the bank robber.
Whoa,
that would be a crazy
You just
twist.
got out of juvie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we didn't talk for 3 to 6 months that time.
So weird.
So I think that although he's hitchhiked up for ski hills, to my knowledge, I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, I think that may be a lie. He told that story really well, but I'm like, I bet you that's the stolen story that maybe happened to a friend of his, maybe his dad or something. I'm really curious. And I'm with you, Alexa. In a rare sign of unity, I think that second story is true.
Whoa.
Mr. Miller?
Wait, I gotta do the drum roll sound effects since so many of you guys love it. Big drum roll. Big reveal.
You're correct. Number 2 is real.
It's been a long time since we've ever agreed and also got it right.
Wow.
But
we never agree.
to be fair, the other story is also real. I didn't make it up,
Yes.
and it was my dad who was
was your
hitchhiking.
dad.
Whoa.
It's
That's
interesting
so
because to me, I'm like,
crazy.
oh, I wonder if this happened in like a bygone era. That's so interesting.
But it's funny, you're right.
Whoa.
I've never hitchhiked across Canada, but my sister has, and I know a bunch of people who have, and yeah, my dad has a couple times, and that was one
Whoa.
of those times. And you're right, it was earlier,
so
so it would be pre-phone completely, which is even. But
Oh,
it's
it's
to be
sketchier,
fair, when I was
too.
in India, I didn't have a phone either, so it's
Okay.
And
all
you did
right.
that, and I like that the world is just, and you got to arm wrestle a man in a sketchy alley
Yeah.
urinal.
And that you won.
And then you fucking won. You
Fuck
showed
yeah.
him. Yeah, you showed him what it's like. You can't be. You can't be taking
Can't
advantage
be-
of
funny.
it.
Can't be taking advantage of just a man trying to take a piss.
You're fucking Orion surfs. You think you're scared of 8 guys in a urinal, dude? This guy dodges icebergs at night. This guy surfs in the middle of the night for 19 hours. He's not scared of you.
He's not scared of nothing. He'll arm wrestle you and all your friends.
so
Orion,
funny.
where can the people find you, man?
Just at Orion Surfs on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. And that's it.
Nice.
And if you want to check my music, it's the OM sound, the OM sound. And I'm also launching a solo project pretty soon, Orion Miller. I have
sick.
one song out, which is actually a surf song, which you guys should check out because you'll find it hilarious because it's like a surf rap song. So I
Oh
did
my
a
God.
collab with this guy, Slippery Surfer, who was an ex-pro surfer from Australia, who's now a surf rapper, self-proclaimed
Maybe
best
he was
surf
that
rapper
little
in the
kid who
world.
grew up.
Self-proclaimed.
He's got a niche. He's certainly got a niche.
Yeah.
Self-proclaimed
He's
best
got
surf
it.
rapper.
So yeah, that was a hilarious collab, and he's collabed with like Ben Gravy, I think, and like all these surfers. It's so funny.
Oh my
But
gosh.
yeah, and then I'm also launching another project called Cosmic Drum, which is a handpan with like electronic beats project, which should be coming out soon.
Cool.
So lots of music stuff
Oh,
going on.
Totally.
Nice.
Great, man.
Damn. All right. He's got many talents. Arm wrestling, river surfing.
Yeah, you have an arm wrestling
music.
channel coming out? I'd love to see
My
that.
arm wrestling TikTok
Yeah.
at Urinal Arm Wrestling.
Yeah.
People are racing right now to beat you to that.
Yeah.
And don't steal our short film idea either, but the two
Yeah.
hitchhikers, folks. That's too good.
Make your own about arm piss wrestling, whatever it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I shouldn't. It
Thank
was
you
too
so
weird. You're
much.
right. It was too weird of an idea to
No, it was
like.
great.
It
You
stands
didn't
it
do
out.
was
bad.
perfect.
I couldn't
You
It
told
trick
us the
was
you.
story we wanted to be true.
Yeah, it was such a good story that I was like, that's why I wanted it to be true. And I'm so glad that it was, that really happened to you, because that's the best story ever. I love that story so much.
You made us root for you.
Yeah, I'm like, I hope you actually won that piss wrestling contest.
I mean, it would
piss
still be a
wrestling.
way worse story if I just got beat down at the end.
Got
It
the hell
was.
beat out of him? Yeah.
They beat me down and took everything I had. Like that would really suck. I don't think I'd tell a
That would be
story
the
in that
saddest
case.
story.
No,
We'd probably
yeah.
we would have been hoping that wouldn't be true if that ended like that.
I'm glad you won. And thank you so much for coming on and
Yeah, thanks for having
telling
me.
your amazing stories. I love it. I'm like, those were really good. I love those stories. And that's all for this episode. We'll see you next week, folks. I don't like that ending. You can follow us on social media too. Steele My Story Podcast, Instagram, TikTok, and you can follow me, just Alexa Steele on Instagram, Alexa Rose Steele on TikTok, and
As always, if you want to watch the video version of this, if you're
Ooh,
like, what the
sorry.
hell did those people look like or what they were talking about, or showing some visuals, check out the YouTube at Alexa Rose Steele to watch the video version. And if not, we'll see you next week.
we'll see you next week. Bye.